everyone, good evening and welcome to your channel 9th and 10th. Yes, how are you everyone? How are you all? I can see many of you are here with us. Welcome to the class everyone. I'm your teacher Ankita, and of course in today's class we will be reading the NCERT. Right, many of you are asking, ma'am, when we'll be doing the NCERT session for class 10s. So here we are, right? Today we will be reading the NCERT. So I'll give you time in the beginning only. Quickly go and get your book. And of course, have the pencil also with you, right? Yes, good evening everyone. Hi Ashley, I'm good. Thank you for asking. Hi Priyanshu, Dheeraj, thank you. Good evening Sneha, Tejas. Yes, very good Tejas, you're from 9th. Great. Awesome everyone. Hi Aditi, good evening. So how are you all? I hope that all of you are doing good. Yes, Education Board, we will try our best. Yes, study, we will be trying to focus on the important points and in the especially the important lines. Hi Rosina, then we have Gauransh, Budding Talent, Rani, Anonymous, Arjun, we have Rishik, Rabia, Abdul, Soni. You're ready? Very good everyone. So I hope that all of you have your books with you, right? I'll give you a little bit more, a few seconds here and there. Yes, very good everyone. Very good, very good. No issues. Please do take care of yourself. You can focus here in the class. No worries. Yes, good evening everyone. Now I can see many of you have joined. So let me just quickly welcome all of us here once again. Good evening everyone. Welcome to the class. It's your own channel of 9th and 10th BYJU'S, and I'm your teacher Ankita. And in today's class we will be discussing and basically we will be reading through the NCERT chapter of life process. Very good. I can see a lot of thumbs up. So let's quickly get started. Now of course, many of you, if you are a part of our community, right, have shared the post that what we'll be doing in today's class. So basically it gives us an understanding that what we'll be learning in today's class, right? So mentally we can prepare ourselves. So that's why it's really important to have a little bit knowledge. So we usually share the session updates on the Telegram group. If you haven't joined the group, you can join now. Link is in the description box below. Yes, very good. Ajanya. Very good. Yes, very good, very good. Awesome. Good evening, good evening. And of course, we all have our midterms, and this is the special thing that we are doing for all of you, right? Especially focusing on the midterm examination. Yes. So if you haven't joined our channel, please join. If you are joining, if you have joined our class for the very first time, take this movement, right, and subscribe to the channel so that your midterm preparation is happening seamlessly, right? We are covering all the dimensions, all the important topics. With that, everyone, we'll be moving now, but a very, very important quote. Now, I'll take one more minute to talk about the reading, right? And this quote basically gives us a very clear picture. Now we know that reading is essential. That's what the quote says, that reading is essential for those who seeks to rise above the ordinary. Right? And of course it was said by Jim Rohn. A very kind of cliche line over here. We are reading NCERT and we have this. But don't you think it's kind of reality? Yes? I'm sure. आप में से सब लोग agree करेंगे कि if you read, right, you have a better knowledge. Right? What do you think? You basically slowly start rising above the ordinary. You have more information, right? And it happens when you read stuff. Yes. I'm good. I am good. I can see many of you have joined. Welcome to the class. Yes. Awesome. So on that quote, I want all of you to read 15 minutes a day. Nothing much, right? I'm sure you can give 15 minutes to all the chapters, right? Don't read every chapter, like all the subjects on every day. Maybe pick 2 chapters. Very good. So I hope that you will be keeping, right, this quote very close to your heart and you will be following this. Yes, and let's move ahead. Lots of love to each one of you. Now we'll be switching back, right? We'll be moving to the textbook mode. So I want all of you to open your textbook. I hope that you have the pencil with you. And here we have, right? We have the NCERT book with us. Awesome. Yes. Right over here we have this. So let's start. So those of you who are still joining us here. So those of you who are still joining us, welcome to the class. Good evening everyone. I might not able to take each of your name individually. There are a lot of you are here, so I might miss your name. Don't worry. If you have doubts, please hold for some time. I'll be answering your doubts, right? And for this session, you just need your textbook. And even if you don't have your textbook, just focus here on the screen. Right? We'll make sure that you have the proper information. Yes, Gauransh, control and coordination after the first midterm, right? After the midterm. Dhruv, let's not spam. We don't have the quiz today. Kitna quiz karoge? Usse pehle padhai to zaruri hai. So, on that note, everyone, I want to see a very quick thumbs up from all of you. Yes, a very quick thumbs up, everyone, and then we'll start. It's important to address few things so that all of you are kind of aligned. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I can see thumbs up, thumbs up. And it's a very interesting chapter, life process. So, of course, if you talk about this particular chapter, in the beginning, of course, there's lots of information which is given, right? But of course, I would not say it's super important, but it's really very important for us to understand. So, let's quickly start with it. Right now, of course, in the first line, they're talking about that how would you difference between, between alive or not alive, or living or non-living. If the animal is chewing good food, or if it's sleeping, or it's moving, we can say it's living, right? That's what is written over here. Yes, that's what we have. Yes, so we have this over here, right? If you see a dog running, or maybe a cow chewing, we will think that it's living. But if they're sleeping, what we'll say? We will still say that they are living, right? Of course, when we see them, they are breathing. We do the same thing with the plants also. Now, plants are also living. Now, of course, they grow. So, one thing to actually help us understand is that, right, of course, the growth, right? It's a growth that happens, right? When in living organisms, if the growth is happening, we can say that they are living. Right? I hope that all of you are following us over here. Now, there are times when we'll see not so visible growth, but we know that we are growing, right? So, over here, the growth becomes really very important. Moving ahead to the next over here, that is the movement. Now, what do you think? Movement again are really important, right? I am moving, so you can say, oh, ma'am is living, right? Now, of course, there are a lot of movement happens inside a body also. But can you notice them? Quickly tell me everyone. Can we see the body movement that are happening inside a body? Yes or no? We know that we will not be able to see, right? Because what we have is the movement of the molecules. Now, in our body, we have various chemical reactions happening, right? And these chemical reactions happens because there are chemicals and of course, they will form the molecules. So, of course, as these molecules move, they actually are moving to keep us alive. So, of course, the movement of the molecules is one such example. Yes. Now, they have mentioned a very interesting fact which was we are aware of about the viruses, which I'll not focus more, but I know that you already know that viruses are non-living outside the body of the host and they are living when they move inside the body because, of course, once they are inside the body, the molecules start forming, right, and of course they start replicating themselves. So that's a very important thing in the terms of the movement. Are we clear? So growth is important, movement is also important. The same thing being talked over here about the molecular movement. Why it is important for the life as we have just discussed. Chemical reactions happens and for that to happen, the molecules needs to come together to react and that's how this all is happening. Now the important thing over here is the repairing and maintaining. Now, the molecules are doing their work. Why? Because first to maintain the life and of course to repair. What do you think? Yes or no? I can see suddenly the chat is kind of inactive, everyone. Are you there with me? I hope that you can hear me. Yes? Very good, please. Yes, I can see yes. Okay, awesome. So we are clear with this part, right? Now, that means that all of you are paying attention. That's good. That's good. Okay. Now, let's talk about the life processes. Now, all of this is important. Why? Molecular movement is important. Why? Of course, for maintenance process. Of course, to maintain the life process. So, here we have the maintenance function of living organism may go on even when they are not doing any particular activity, or even if you and me are just sitting or sleeping, still lots of activities are happening. So a life process is nothing but a very important process which is happening, and of course there's a need of the maintenance of them. Yes, are we clear with this, everyone? So maintenance is important, right? The maintenance is important, needed to prevent the damage, breakdown and the energies needed for them. Are we clear? Yes. Right? So this, see, again, if you look at it, we are kind of aware about it, but just reading it once, we know that we are on a right path. Now, this particular energy that we are talking about will be coming from outside the body, and of course, we must be taking the food, right? They have mentioned the food over here. Yes? We get the energy from the food, and of course, it comes from outside. Yes, Ajanya, so I'm talking about that for maintenance, right? Of course, to maintain the whole life processes and the body, what is there, of course? There are a lot of reactions are happening, and since these maintenance processes are needed to prevent the damage, right, and breakdown, for them energy is needed, and energy comes from the food, and food we usually take from outside, right? We don't prepare our own food, we take food from the outside and then we break that, and from there only we'll get the energy. So that's important. Now, of course, that process is called as the nutrition. Over here, they have mentioned the important thing, right? Ma'am, what if they ask us to explain the nutrition for 5 and... so, for example, again, if they ask, explain the nutrition in humans, you need to explain the food and, of course, the digestive tract altogether. Yes, that's how the usually question comes. In terms of nutrition, they'll not be asking you to talk about the food in general, but they'll ask you to explain the nutrition in humans. How we get the food and how it just get broken down and furthermore. Yes, again, we'll be focusing on the words that are appearing. Kriti, and yes, I'll be answering your question when we're discussing about the respiration. Yes, got it. Okay. Now, of course, the food will depend on the size of the organisms also. Right? If a plant is small, of course, it needs a less raw material. If a bigger plant, of course, it has more needs. Similarly goes for us, small baby, big baby. Both of these will have a different food needs, the food demand. So that is also really very important. Again, a very beautiful thing they have mentioned is that majority, right, based upon the molecules that we have, majority of the organisms that are living on Earth depends on the carbon-based molecule. It's a very, very important line. Super important line, right? Majority of it is based on the carbon-based molecules. Glucose, right? Starch. So this is really very important. Now, that's of course depending on the different organisms, the molecules that are needed will be different. Okay, I will be taking the questions not now. So all of you who are writing the question, I would request you to just wait for some time. You can repeat your questions after some time. Over here we have, so we need the food and that comes from the outside, and that actually varies from individual to the individual. Now in this particular paragraph, they have mentioned about the intercellular respiration, or what respiration is. We know that there will be the breakdown of the food to get the energy, right? And of course, this whole process that we talk about is called as the respiration, where of course is a breakdown of the food to give us the energy that happens in the cell, and we call it as the intercellular respiration or cellular respiration. Not intercellular, basically the cellular respiration. Are we clear? Are we clear, everyone? Yes? And the important thing over here, in our body we have lots of oxidizing and reducing reactions. I'm sure all of you have studied about redox reaction, right? Oxidizing reaction and the reducing reactions. So these occurs in our body, and that's how we'll see the breakdown happening. We need oxygen, and oxygen moves inside the body, and a lot of reactions occurs. And of course, there's a release of the hydrogen also. So this is a very clear-cut thing that we all need to understand. Now they are talking about, these two paragraphs talks about the unicellular organism, right? And the multicellular organism. Yes, so of course, in unicellular organism, they can easily use the simple diffusion method. But in multicellular organism, it will be really very difficult, right? It will be really very difficult. So of course, for that we have the specialized tissues, forms the organ systems, and so. Yes? So what happens over here is that we need to understand that the different organisms have different needs for the body in terms of food and the energy. Are we clear? Yes? Are we clear with this? Yes, Sri Hari, we will be able to finish the syllabus. Awesome. Very good, very good. A quick thumbs up, everyone. So we have discussed about the nutrition, we have discussed about the respiration. Now, of course, once the food is there, it needs to move to the body with the help of the transportation, and of course, there will be the excretion. So that's what they have mentioned over here. See, they have mentioned the transportation system and of course the excretion. So basically, this paragraph gives, these two pages gives the introduction to the life processes. So now we'll be starting with the life process, the first part, which is the nutrition. Control and coordination, again Aditi, as I have mentioned, will be starting after the first, after this midterm. Very good. Yes, of course, we will be covering up, but of course in many schools, we don't have control and coordination in the first term, that's why we are waiting. Okay. Now everyone, are we clear with it? That's the first 2 pages, right? Very important part. So quickly give me a thumbs up. Usually from this, rarely you might get 1 or 2 marks question. Not more than that. What are life processes, or what are the important characteristic features of the living organism, or whom we can call a living organisms, right? So these 2 are really very easy, not so important, but still you need to read it. Very good. Now we are starting with a very important part, nutrition in plants. Now before we start this, I would request you, if you have doubts, please hold it in between. Don't write the question in between. After nutrition in plants is done, I will be taking up your questions. Okay? Promise me that. Pinky promise, everyone. Yes? Maybe Sunil, but for the majority that we had the votes, I think we had a polls, but for majority it was not there. Yes. Pinky promise, very good, promise, awesome. I love you my bachas, and let's get started. When we talk about the nutrition, we know that all the living organisms need food, right? And of course, how they do get food? We know that they get food either from the outside, or they make their own food. So over here, in this particular paragraph, they just talked about that, complex molecules will be broken down by the special enzymes. Now, you know what? Majority of you are kind of unaware about that we have the enzymes definition in the textbook itself, right? So what are enzymes? Enzymes are the biocatalyst. Now, if you read this line, let's read it. It's really important. So these complex substances have to be broken down into the simpler one before they can be used for the upkeeping and growth of the body. To achieve this, organisms uses biocatalysts that is called as the enzymes. Now these enzymes plays a very important role in breaking down. It actually increases the rate of reaction and helps in the various chemical reactions. So everyone, are we clear with we are clear with the enzymes, right? Yes. So now we are clear with the enzymes, and of course we have enzymes in different organisms altogether. When we talk about the nutrition, everyone, there are two different types of nutrition we have. We have autotrophic nutrition, where the organisms make their own food, and of course we have the heterotrophic nutrition. So catalyst means something which actually comes in there for a very short time and start or smoothen the process. Right, in a very layman language, if I would say. Two types of nutrition, auto and the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Now in autotrophic mode of nutrition, we know that we have plants, right? And of course we have few bacteria that can make their own food. So of course, for autotrophic nutrition, can you tell me this? Yes, now I don't want to go into the details of this because this is the easiest paragraph of this whole chapter. Now we have carbon and energy requirements of the autotrophic nutrition to fulfilled by the photosynthesis. They make their own food, right? And for that what they need? Simple thing, what they need? Yes, they need carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, water from the soil, right? Then of course in the presence of sunlight and in chlorophyll, they will be making their food, which is glucose. And of course, they will release the oxygen and there will be the release of water, right? So this is something which is kind of easy. Are we clear, everyone? Very good. See over here, these raw materials, right over here. Now, if you talk about over here, these materials, right over here. The material is taken from the carbon dioxide, water, which is converted to the carbohydrates in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Carbohydrates are utilized to provide the energy to the plants, right? Of course, we'll be learning this in the next part. The carbohydrates, which will not be used immediately, will be getting stored in the form of starch. And of course, it acts as an internal energy reserve for it. They have mentioned that in a similar situation, what happens? The energy derived from the food, which we eat, you and me eat, stored in our body in a form of glycogen. Are we clear? So in plants, of course, it is getting stored in the form of starch. Right? But what about you and me? It gets stored in the glycogen. Are we clear? Yes? Starch, stored form in plants, glycogen in us. Education, what basically it's a chemical molecule only that it's getting stored. Right? Okay, now comes a very important part. Education would have just explained. We have glucose, we have glycogen, right? Basically, these are chemicals. Thank you, Yash, for helping and welcome to the class after a very long time. Yes, okay. Now, everyone, I could not stress more on this. Right? The chemical equation. Very good, Webavi. Thank you for helping your friends out there. Right? Basically, what we have, the important, the chemical reaction of photosynthesis. After that, what we have again is super important, that is the 3 steps of photosynthesis. Again, a 3 marks question directly asked in the examination. Write the steps of photosynthesis. Now quickly raise your hand. How many of you have seen this question? Yes. Okay, intelligent boy. The meaning of the carbon-based food means that they will have carbohydrates into it. Yes? Me. Very good, right? So it's a super important part of this particular whole page. So on page number 96, what is important? This. The steps basically, right over here. The steps of the photosynthesis. Important. Sorry, over here. So let's see, and here we have. See, all of this. Okay, I don't want to make it looks very cluttery, but yeah, this is important. I'll just move aside. Yes, so we have, first is the absorption of the light energy by chlorophyll. So we know that on the leaf, right, we have the chloroplast, and in chloroplast we have the chlorophyll, right? So what will happen? The light absorption will occur in the chlorophyll. That's a very first step. Second step is that what? The conversion of light energy to the chemical energy, right? And of course in that step only we will see the splitting of water molecules. Yes? Are we clear? Everyone, are we clear? That of course we will see the conversion of light energy to chemical energy, and of course splitting of the water molecules into the hydrogen and oxygen. And of course in the last step we will see the reduction of the carbon dioxide to the carbohydrates. So basically 3 steps we can revise, or we can write the answer for the photosynthesis. Yes, if someone asks you others to write about, explain about the photosynthesis, it will be great if you write the chemical equation also. Balanced chemical equation. Are we clear, everyone? We need to mention the balanced chemical equation. Oh, awesome. Very good. Now if you read the next line which is there, these steps need not to take place one after the other, right? For example, in the desert plants, carbon dioxide, it's taken up in the night, because if the stromata opens, right, of course there will be loss of water. So of course what happens over here, the desert plants will be taking the carbon dioxide in the night, and during the daytime they'll prepare their food, right? So it will happen in this particular way. So again, a very important question. Are we clear, everyone, with this? See the hidden gems of the NCERT, right? Now we don't know actually. Sometimes all of these are very important and interesting information. Sometimes exam में आता है and हमें लगता है कि ओह ये तो हमने पढ़ा ही नहीं था, मैम ये तो NCERT के बाहर है. But our NCERT is kind of a gem, right? Every information is there. So this is important. Now they are talking about that. Let's see how a component, right? We can see each of these components in the reactions, basically in the experiments. Now again, yes. Now can I tell you this very, very important thing? Now this experiment is really important, and especially this experiments of photosynthesis, right? I'm sure you will be getting 2 marks question from it, kind of 100% sure. Yes. So you need to focus on all the activities and all the experiments. Here they are talking about a simple thing. Now I want you to answer this to me very quickly, everyone. Very quickly. Yes. So what is happening in this activity? We have 2 plants. We'll take 2 plants. Simple language mein bata rahi hu, all of you just focus over here. Yes. Shashmita, the question is ke, why does it, or how does photosynthesis occurs in the desert plant? Simple. They will be taking up the carbon dioxide in the night, and during the daytime the process will occur. Starch test, very good. So we will have 2 plants. One is in the dark, right, and of course one aram se. We will be adding a paper on top of it, on the leaf, any star shape, any one, right, and of course after that we will be moving it in the sunlight. We'll be covering up the portion, right, and after that we will test. We will remove the part, and of course we will test it for the starch. If photosynthesis have occurred, it will turn blue-black because there is a starch present into it. Yes or no? Very good, everyone. So is this clear, right? For those of you who have still some doubts, let me quickly read from here. So we have to take a potted plant with the various, some patchy leaves. Darshan, right? So these leaves will have different shades. A little bit of brown, a little bit of pink. I'm sure you must have seen those plants. Money plant mein hota hai. It's not exactly green. You might see something, a little bit hint of light green or yellowish also. So आपको वो plant लेना होगा. Then you will be keeping it in a dark room for 3 days, when all the starch will be getting used up. Here we will be putting it in the sunlight for 6 hours. We will be plucking the leaf. Then of course, we will trace it, and we will dip this into the boiling water. Boiling water is important because it will be breaking the plant cells, right, of course. Then of course we will be adding into the alcohol to get rid of the chlorophyll, right. Then of course once alcohol is being done, we will be putting again into the water, and what we will see, we will add few drops of iodine solution, and after some time we will see the color change. Now over here, can we see this? Very good. Yes, we have it in activity. So if you haven't watched it, you can definitely watch. It's a very simple. Yes, it's a very simple activity, and I want you to focus over here. right? So similarly, if you read over here, furthermore, on page number 97 in the beginning, they have talked about this only. Now let's study how the plants obtain the carbon dioxide. Yes? Right, everyone? The main aim of doing this activity, yes, is to check whether there is a presence of the starch or not, right? And of course, with this experiment, we can do a lot of things, whether photosynthesis occurred or not. So, now comes a very important 2 marks question again. Rarely they might give you to draw the diagram. That is the diagram of the stromata. Are we clear, everyone? Yes, now I can see a little bit debate on English and Hindi. I would love to teach in Hindi, but again, I feel that all of us over here in the class are more comfortable with English. So here and there I might use few words in Hindi, but I'll try my best to teach in English. Yes. Very good. So stromata are the tiny microscopic structures that are present on the leaf, right? Of course, they're present on the epidermis of the leaf, and they are the one that actually help in the exchange of the gases, right? Stromata closes, no gas exchange. Stromata open, gaseous exchange. Can you see over here? And they are guarded by the guard cells, which are a quite kidney bean shaped structure. Yes, Bhumi, if you read NCERT line by line and if you understand what it's trying to tell you, and you will be able to definitely score good marks. Yes, are we clear, everyone? Yes, quickly give me a thumbs up. Are we clear? So over here, let's a very important line. Okay. So this is important. Can you read from here? But it's important to notice that the gaseous exchange will occur from the stem, roots and leaves as well. Since the large amount of the water can also be lost with these stromata, the plant closes its pores when it does not need carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. The opening and the closing of the pore is functioned by the guard cell, and guard cell swells when the water flows into it. This is important, causing the stromatal pore to open. Similarly, the pore will close if the guard cell shrink. Clear, right? Yes, transpiration also have a very important role in this. So transpiration is nothing but the loss of the water vapors in a form loss of water in a form of water vapors, right? So this is important. Very good. Very good, very good. Yes. Okay, so we are clear with the stromata part. Anil, ये line यही बोल रही है कि stromata basically help in the exchange of the gases. And guard cells are the one that actually make sure the closing and the opening of the basically the stromata pore. Not 100% education word, they might twist the questions up. Very good, everyone. So this is clear. Okay, we are kind of running out of time. Yes. Both, Sri Hari, both, on both the sides. Majority, just see na, majority will be there where? Upper or lower epidermis. Think about it. But they are present on both. The number might vary. Yes. Now this is a very interesting experiment to test that there is a presence, there is a release of the carbon dioxide, right? And what we'll do, we'll keep the potassium hydroxide, right? And what will happen? Can you tell what is the importance of this? Yes, the potassium hydroxide will absorb, right? Yes, quickly tell me, everyone, we did this experiment. And if I remember, if you have any difficulty in the experiments, there is a video on the channel which talks about photosynthesis experiments, right? If you go through it, you will be able to find it, and we had a detailed discussion. Very good. So if we have to prove whether the photosynthesis is being taken or there is a release of carbon dioxide, this is the experiment, right? The bell jar experiment. Very good, everyone. Very good. KOH. So, based upon this, we can demonstrate that the sunlight is necessary. Of course, similarly here and there the things can be changed and can be asked. Yes, Komal, I think you have just joined the class. So, the desert plants take the carbon dioxide during night time, right? And of course, perform the photosynthesis process in the day. Oh, awesome, everyone. Now, again, a very important line over here. They also need other raw materials in building their body. Water used in the photosynthesis is taken up from the soil, and of course there are other chemicals like other materials like nitrogen, phosphorus, iron, magnesium are also taken from the soil. Right? Why nitrogen is important? Because it actually helps in the synthesis of proteins and other compounds. Very, very important. And of course, we have this, right? We know that the plants will not be able to take the nitrogen directly. They'll be able to take the nitrogen in the different forms, right? That is important. So that's all about the autotrophic mode of nutrition. Now let's quickly discuss about the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, everyone. Yes. Are we clear? Quickly a thumbs up, everyone. A quick thumbs up. And I'll move ahead. Yes, rhizobium is present in the plant. Leguminous plants, right? Leguminous plants inside their root nodules. Very good. So are we clear with this? Awesome. Now let's quickly discuss about the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Right? Heterotrophic mode of nutrition over here. Now what is the heterotrophic mode of nutrition? Of course we know that organisms depends upon the other, right? Depends upon others for their food. So those organisms or those animals that actually use the this mode is are called as the heterotrophs. That's what we have over here in this whole paragraph. So they have talked about the different, right? They have talked about the different types of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So we have parasitic mode of nutrition, and I want you to answer this question. Yes? Okay, I can see you are asking to explain this paragraph. So over here, sunlight is important and carbon dioxide is important, right? Shashmita, just focus over here now. So apart from that, water is there. Now water, when it enters into the plant, along with the water there is a movement of minerals also. So in all the minerals that are important will be moving with the help of the water, and of course the minerals. They have mentioned the minerals names over here, and they are really very important. Plants cannot take the nitrogen directly, that's why it will be broken down to furthermore to the nitrates and the nitrites that will be used up by the plants. So I hope that is clear. Very good. I can see saprophytic mode of nutrition. We have the fungi over there that actually eats in the dead and decay matters, right? We have holozoic mode of nutrition that occurs in you and me, and then we have the parasitic mode of nutrition, which of course we see in the leeches, right? And the what we have in the head, ticks, right? Yes. Awesome. So that's what we have in this particular paragraph. Not very clearly, evidently they have mentioned lysis, yes. Ticks we have in those small animals, yes. Very good. Yeah. Very good. Now comes a very interesting part, a 2 marks question. Rhizobium bacteria known, yes. They plays a very important role in the nitrogen fixation. Apart from that, there are other bacteria also. Yes, Jay Prakash. Okay. Now over here we are talking about the amoeba, right? Everyone, I hope that you remember this diagram. Super important diagram. The nutrition in amoeba, because it's very similar to us. First, of course, it's ingestion, right? Then the formation of the pseudopodia. Right over here, sorry. Here we have the pseudopodia, right? Then the formation of the food vacuole, right? And of course, we'll see ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and of course the ingestion. But that's an important part. That's how they have been grown. That's how they have survived. Very good, everyone. And a similar type of nutrition we'll see in the amoeba as well as in the paramecium. A little bit similar. Yes? Very good. In the paramecium though, we have special cilias, right? That cover the entire surface. Very good, everyone. Okay, so that's all about the nutrition in amoeba and the paramecium. A very quick look into that. Now comes the most important part. Yes, drum rolls for this, everyone. Now if you look at this diagram, is this particular diagram. You can definitely look into it. Yes. Paramecium is holozoic mode of nutrition, Komal. Sauropodia, pseudo, means false. Podia means fit. Yes. Okay. Now in nutrition, everyone. Now can you tell me what is an alimentary canal? Page number 98. Page number 98. The alimentary canal is a long tube that starts from the mouth and ends at the anus. That's nothing but the, right over here, the alimentary canal. Yes, the digestive tract. Right now, of course, we have these following activity, which is not definitely we're not discussing now. We'll be discussing it once we have a little bit more information. Yes. Now comes the easiest part. I want all of you to focus over here. Now we have, okay, 5 or 7 minutes more and then we need to finish the session. Very good. Everyone, I hope that quickly give me a thumbs up. And I want all of you to focus over here. It's a really very easy topic. Yes. Come on, a quick thumbs up. Yes. Okay, let's start with it, everyone. So the food is processed, right? And the small texture that we know. We eat the food with the help of teeth, right? Teeth actually help in cutting, tearing and grinding the food that we eat. Hiccups will be coming into that, right? But not now. So that's the importance of the teeth. Now, in our mouth we have teeth, tongue and salivary glands. And they all form the buccal cavity. So mouth, we call it as a buccal cavity. Right over here we have. Now, what is the role of the tongue? Now, tongue basically helps in the mixing of the food along with the saliva. Right? And of course, in saliva we have a very special enzyme which is called as the salivary amylase. Right? And it actually helps in the breakdown of the carbohydrates. Yes. Chandrakala, again, it depends upon in which part, midterm or the main examination. So, life process is a very important chapter from your board point of view. Yes. Okay, so they have mentioned about the salivary amylase, right? Yes, we have 4 different types of teeth, canines, incisors, premolars and molars. Very good. So, of course, we have the salivary amylase that actually break down the starch, which is a complex molecule, into the simple sugar. Remember the name salivary amylase from the salivary glands. Are we clear? Very good. I can see many of you writing the answer. That's very good. Now then, of course, we have the muscular tongue, which actually help in mixing of the food and wrapped on the saliva. Yes. Very good, very good. Now, from here we will talk about how the food moves into the esophagus, right? So over here there is a very special movement, which of course comes for 1 mark. What is the movement that happens in the food pipe or the esophagus? Is the peristalsis movement, a wave-like motion, right? So it's necessary to move the food down, and of course the lining of the canal has the muscles that contract and relax rhythmically, right, in a rhythm. And of course, this is called as the peristalsis movement. Are we clear? Very good, very good. Awesome. Easiest part, right? This is very, very easy. Yes. Very good. Yes, Arshia. Thank you, Aarti, for helping your friend. Yes, Arshia, I've answered your question. Now, from the mouth, the food goes into the stomach. Now, this is the very important part. J-shaped organ, right? And it's a very, very important part. Now, in this, we have the muscular wall, which actually helps in the mixing of the food with the more digestive juices, right? And over here, let's talk about the gastric juices. So, in our stomach, we have the gastric glands, right? They are present in the walls of the stomach, and these secrete the hydrochloric acid, right? A protein digesting enzyme pepsin and the mucus. This is really important, everyone. Very, very important. Three secretion occurs. 3 gastric juices secretion occurs, right? Over here in the stomach. Hydrochloric acid, pepsin and the Mucus. Mucus protect the walls of the stomach. HCl acid kill the germs and activate the enzyme which is pepsinogen into the pepsin. Okay, that's what is written over here. The hydrochloric acid create the acidic medium which actually make the pepsin enzyme active. And this actually helps in the digestion of proteins. Mucus protect the inner lining. This is important, right? And of course, we have the mucus, right? Now comes a very important part. Why the acidity occurs? What do you think? What is the reason behind the acidity? So if we have more of the acid and less food, what will happen? The digestion is not, the digestion have occurred properly, but we have more acid as compared to the food, and of course this acid, the extra acid will cause the acidity. Very good. Now from there, from the stomach, the food will move to the small intestine, and there's a sphincter. You remember there was a question also we had. Yes, can you see this question? Sorry, this muscle. Okay. Yeah, over here. Yes, so we have the sphincter muscle which closes, basically which makes sure the food will not move back from the small intestine to the intestine. Are we clear? Sorry, small intestine to the stomach. So there is a kind of closing over there. The food from the stomach will enter into the small intestine. Now the food which is coming, right, is acidic. Right, it is the acidic. And now, of course, it needs to make a little bit basic so that the digestion can occur further. Yes, so for that we have the alimentary canal, and of course when it moves, we have the secretions from the liver and the pancreas. Are we clear? Are we clear everyone with this? Right? Okay everyone, I need to finish this quickly. Everyone focus over here. So, the small intestine, over here they are talking about, it's the largest part of the alimentary canal for sure. The length of the small intestine varies in the different animals. In herbivores, it's longer because it needs to digest the cellulose, whereas in the carnivores, it will be smaller. Right? This is important, and of course, this is also very is a common question asked. So yeah, you have the clarity. Why the small intestine length changes from herbivores to the carnivores. Now in the small intestine, we will see the complete digestion of the carbohydrate, fats and protein. This is important. Right? And of course, from the liver, we will see the secretion of the bile juices. Right? That will be breaking the fats and of course, making it into smaller molecules so that the lipase enzyme, which is secreted by the pancreas, can work on it. So over here, it receives the secretion of the liver and the pancreas for this purpose, and it becomes alkaline so that the pancreatic enzymes can act on it. Are we clear everyone? Yes. Are we clear? So in between I didn't focus on the chat. I hope that all of you are here and are kind of clear with this. Yes, super easy. Good, good, good. Very good everyone. So we have the secretion of bile. Then of course we have the enzymes like lipase, trypsin. Lipase help in the digestion of fats. Trypsin helps in the digestion of proteins. Very good. Bile salt will be breaking them into the small globules, increasing the efficiency of enzymes to act on it. Right? Of course, you have learned this in the chemistry also. The pancreatic amylase will secrete the enzymes, and of course that's how they help in the digestion. So that's all about the digestion that is happening in the small intestine. From there, the digestive food, of course, is getting absorbed also in the small intestine because there are small villi that will be helping in the absorption. This is NCERT. Right? They actually increase the surface area. This is important line. Right? Villi are present. They actually help in the absorption. Apart from that, they are, of course, they are so much in number, they increase the surface area also. Very good, very good. The unabsorbed food is then sent to the large intestine, and of course in large intestine, water will be reabsorbed, right? And of course the waste material will be thrown from the body by the anal sphincter. Yes? And with that, we are kind of done with the nutrition. Yes, NCERT or Bible. So everyone, we have discussed it over here. They have mentioned about the good things. You can quickly read this out. right, about cleaning your teeth and what will happen if there's a plaque formation. Right, we'll have the dental caries, right? We'll have difficulties. So are we clear, everyone, with the nutrition part? Quickly a thumbs up, and then now we'll move back to the PPT mode, right? Yes, and we are kind of done with this. Very good, everyone. Now, after this, if you read the textbook for just 10 minutes, I'm telling you, you will be the master of life process, right? With that, everyone, I would end the session. But before I go, let me quickly tell you about the ANTHE examination. I hope that you have registered. It's for absolutely free, right? And of course, it's for class 7th to 12th. So register now, everyone. And of course, we have BYJU'S mini learning program. YT first code, right? Use it, everyone. This is a new week. So use this code and avail the BYJU'S learning program. And with that, we are done. We've got you covered. And don't forget to hit the like button, everyone. Share with your friends and subscribe to the channel. Yes. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll be meeting tomorrow again. If you have any suggestions, write in the comment section below. If you love this session, please mention in the comment section below. Just show your love over there. Write some comments. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone. We'll see you again. Lots of love. Bye-bye.